Factor the polynomial. What is the greatest common factored form of the polynomial? To solve this question, we're going to need to pull out the greatest common factor for each variable. So the greatest common factor for our y's and the greatest common factor for our x's. Let's start with our y's. We have y to the 4 and we have y to the 3. The greatest common factor that I could pull out of both of those is going to be a y to the 3, and I'll actually do that in a different color. Y to the 3 and y to the 3. So we're pulling out a y to the 3, which means that's going to go outside of the parentheses, and now we need to resolve both of these. Y to the 3rd divided by y to the 3rd, anything divided by y is just itself, so this will give us the number 1. Here we have two like bases being divided, so we need to subtract their exponents. This is the same thing as y to the 4 minus 3, or y to the 1 power, or just y. So we'll have y to the 3rd on the outside. We'll leave some space for our x variable that we factor out, times y to the 1, leave space for our x variable, plus 1 times our x variable. Now we can move on to our x variables. Here we have x to the negative 2 and x to the 5. The greatest common factor in both of these cases will be x to the negative 2. Anything divided by itself is just 1, so this will give us the number 1. And then here we have two variables with like bases that have different exponents being divided, so we need to subtract their exponents. This is the same thing as x to the 5 minus a negative 2. Be very careful there that you are including both the minus and the negative sign for the 2. Because subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. This becomes 5 plus 2, which is x to the 7. So we pulled out x to the negative 2, and we were left with 1 in this term and x to the 7 in this term. So our final answer, I'll rewrite this in a different color, is y to the 3rd, x to the negative 2nd, times anything times 1 is just itself, so this will just be y, plus anything times 1 is just itself, so this will be x to the 7. This perfectly matches answer choice A, making that our correct answer.